So welcome to an unusual All Florida Core Supervisor call. It's the third Monday of the month. My name is Sherry Lucky. I'll be leading the call. And who we have on the call are Monica Dubay, Tim Wagoner, and Pedro Mayat. We are also expecting Tom Nestor and Joshua Moreno. Tim, you want to reach out to Joshua and Monica? You already have.
I'm doing both at the same
You're
time
doing
in the
both.
same set.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
All
you.
right. So the intention of this call is to give everyone an opportunity to get together. We have not had many opportunities to be together over the holiday season. And I frankly was missing seeing everybody and being with everybody. So I wanted to have a call for us to get together and just to complete 2020, start to create 2021 and what we're up to and what we're declaring for 2021. And then just to hear what's so for people, what's going on with people, because I really feel out of touch with most of the people in the program. You know, nothing wrong there. It's just what's so for me. And that's just my experience. I won't say that's anybody else's experience. So would one of you like to generate the bold statement to start the call?
I will.
Okay, Monica, thank you.
Okay, great. Oh, good. Tom's here.
There's Tom. Yeah.
All right. So we, the course supervisors, are given by a possibility bigger than ourselves, holding as sacred the integrity of the clearing in which transformation occurs, causing the fulfillment of our brand, master providers of whatever is needed.
Welcome to the call. Do you want to say anything to be here?
I do.
Yeah.
I had an agreement to be here at 6 and I wasn't. I was actually working on my other course. The impact is I wasn't here and you were worrying where I was because I said I was going to be here. And going forward, I just need to be more present to what time it was. So I should put an alarm 5 minutes before the call. I had an alarm at a half an hour before the call. But going forward, I'll put an alarm 5 minutes before to make sure I'm on the call on time.
That's perhaps a second alarm in place. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, great. Is that complete for everybody?
Yeah.
Is that complete for you, Tom?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Okay. And the reason for the existence of the enterprise. I'll generate that. As an enterprise, we exist to empower and enable people in those matters that are of interest or importance to them, and in the process, leave them transformed with more power, freedom, self-expression, and peace of mind. And that's the reason for the existence of the enterprise. So 2020 was a wild year.
21, you think? 2021.
2021, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just skipped over 2021 because it was so wild. It's hard to process, but lots of people had lots of challenges and lots of things that came up during 2021. People who passed away, just challenges delivering courses. So I think let's use this as an opportunity to share what's come up for you as the year has ended. Anything that you're present to, anything that you'd like to say to be complete. Tim, you know the verbiage, and Monica, you do too, that Philip used in his call. I was not on that call.
I'm looking for my notes.
Okay, go ahead.
And I want to acknowledge, I said I would send you the questions and I did not do that.
And
I
I
did,
didn't,
and I
I
get
didn't
the
remind you of
impact.
that, so,
Yeah, thank you. I got it. I'm looking for them.
yeah. Hey, Fitzgerald,
All right.
anything you'd like to say to be here with us while Tim's looking for his notes?
Mike said I would be here at 6, and I was there after 6.
Mhm.
And I will communicate that I will not be on time in the future when I'm not going to be on time.
Okay, so you knew
Right.
you weren't going to be on time, you had something come up that you needed to attend to?
Yeah, I was on a phone call that lasted longer.
Mhm.
Okay, and I could have taken a minute to send a text.
Got it.
Okay. My dad is not doing well at all, so.
I got that. Thank you for sharing that. So,
Well, I
All
can
right.
start if you want me to start. Or are you
okay,
waiting
all
for
right.
your
Well, let me
questions?
welcome Josh to the call as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah, welcome Joshua. And Tom and Fitzgerald have restored integrity. Would you care to restore integrity? To be on the call?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I would like to restore my integrity. I had agreement to be on this call at 6 o'clock and I was not on time. What I am putting in place is to have an alarm on me that I can actually feel. I had some earbuds on, so I couldn't hear my alarm, so I didn't wake up. So
Got
that's
it.
it. If I'm gonna do that, just make sure I have an alarm that I can actually feel that can actually wake me up. So what I put in place was actually to use my watch, to have my watch on if I'm gonna do that. And the impact is that we're starting our first meeting of the year with restoring integrity. We're starting our call behind. And I'm not starting this call powerfully set up to take on this call. And I am still on my way to my destination. So I'm not fully set up to take this call powerfully.
Got it.
That's it.
Okay. And you get to say whether you're set up powerfully or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, just for Fitzgerald and Joshua, who joined us a little bit later, Happy New Year. This call, the intention of this call is for people to have an opportunity to complete 2021. 2021 was quite a ride, I think, for everybody. So anything you need to say, anything you'd like to get out on the table, and then to begin to create 2022. And just anything that you need to say, because we really haven't had a lot of occasions to be together as a group. You can see our numbers have dwindled. I mean, there are 4 more people in the group who aren't here. And we're a much smaller group than we were at the beginning of 2021. So I will acknowledge that. And I believe I've been in communication with everybody. I think Desiree has left the program. She was very much enjoyed the program, enjoyed her participation in the program, and her pregnancy has just taken the forefront in her life, and she's really focusing on creating that baby and delivering the baby, and just didn't feel like she had the room to continue as a course supervisor in the moment. So that's where Desiree is, nurturing a new soul coming into the world. And then Mitch was ready to complete. And he shared with me that he got his life out of his participation in the course supervisor program. And it was really great and awesome. And now it's time for him to move on and do other things. And the first thing he was going to do was to take a look at humility and explore how humility may or may not be present in his life. So that's what he was going to take on initially. And both Mitch and Desiree will continue to participate in Landmark and their programs. as they're able to do that, and as programs become available to be participated in, returning to the center and that sort of thing. Okay, so Monica, you said you'd like to start, so go for it.
Well, I don't know if Tim had the questions in mind to ask.
So here's what I discovered. I've had my notes from the answers. So to formulate the questions, it would be me making up what I think he said. And the general context was for you to really look at what you accomplished, what you completed, and what was incomplete for you, and to get that complete. And I did not write down how he worded those questions. So Monica, I don't know if you have any notes about that, but
Give me a moment. I'll go look because I think I do have them all written down. Give me,
oh wow,
All right.
that'd be phenomenal.
give me
Yeah.
one
That'd be
minute.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'd like to say something, because my restoration of integrity is not complete.
Right.
And I get that I restored integrity, not in an empowering context. Okay, I just restored integrity because I have to restore integrity, and that's not what it's about. So what's there for me, everybody, is that my dad has really deteriorated in the last 2 weeks. Okay, he's now bedridden, and basically I'm taking care of him, and my mom is there too, but my mom is seriously anxious about the whole thing, to the point that if I'm out of the house for 30 minutes, I'm worried that she's gonna be so anxious. And my call was about making sure that making plans for when my dad dies. Okay. And it was with my ex-wife who went through it with her dad recently. Okay. And we were talking about something at that point that I didn't want to leave incomplete. So I chose to come late on the call and complete this with her, so that it doesn't leave future consequences, future bad feelings for her. And so now looking at why would I be mad about having to restore my integrity? Okay, which basically what was there for me, I don't want to restore my integrity right now, I did what I needed to do. And I said I would be here at 6 and I was not. Okay, and my word is that I would be there at 6, and the simple thing for me to do was to notify all of you, that I would be late. The consequence really is that, I disrespected you, in the sense that you weren't important enough for me to just pick up my phone and send a text, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late. Okay, and that's not what I'm committed to. I'm committed to leave people around me seen, respected, and acknowledged. So I
got
apologize
that.
for that. And in the future, I'm committed still that that's how I'm going to leave people around me.
I got that, Fitzgerald, and just something for you to look at is just to see how quickly morality creeps into the conversation. Nothing wrong with your extending the conversation to complete with your ex-wife regarding making the arrangements. Doesn't feel like, that was a critical conversation for you to have in the moment. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of being in communication. nothing, no morality there. And it just comes up for us, boom, like that, you know? So just notice that. And I get your commitment to leaving people a particular way. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Chris, I just want to say, you know, I've dealt with this, Tim has, there's other people in our body that has, and
Pedro.
you know, I just get what you're going through, man. It's hard. It's hard. And when you lose a parent, when they're in the process, it feels like your whole life, that's what it is. So there's nothing wrong, man. Nothing wrong at all.
Yeah.
You know, we're here for you. We love you. We support you. We got your back. And, you know, dealing with all that, you're still here on the call.
Incredible.
Got it, Tom. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, well said, Tom. Thank you. Thank God. That recreated what I was about to create with Fitzgerald. I moved. Thank you.
Hey, so Monica, did you find the question?
I did.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
You're
Yeah.
our hero.
I have like 5 different notebooks I had to look through. So the beginning of it was his really stating that we have access to being complete whenever we choose, and that this is an opportunity to get complete about whatever you need to get complete about. And that, so I think the first question was, what is incomplete? And the first question was, what didn't I do that I said I would do in 2021? You know, and I jotted down a few things. I don't know if we want to go through these questions like we're doing this.
Yeah, well, whatever comes up for you.
Okay. That's the first, that was the first one. So
You could just tell them all of them and then you can
Okay.
respond. Okay.
the second one it was, what am I upset about with 2021? And in 2021, where did I fail? And what am I disappointed about? What was the next one? Oh, well, after we wrote all that out, then he went on to say, to where we looked at letting this go, like actions and results, disappointment and upset, learning how we can let that go. So that it's not something we carry into the next year. And acknowledging it's incomplete, but that's not, doesn't make you wrong. It's just incomplete. And then there was forgiveness, like where are you holding yourself? Where have you not forgiven yourself or others? Where did you withhold love and appreciation? Where did you get stopped? There was something about responsibility. I don't have the whole question, but it's about being willing to have a say about who I'm going to be. And then I think the last part of that was, what would it take for me to have it be complete?
I'm sorry, Veronica, can you go back one question?
Yeah. The question was about responsibility versus fault.
Yes,
Like-
so that, yeah, I got it. Thank you. I got the question up there wrong. So, I mean, worded wrong. Are you willing to be responsible for what is so? And then he went through the definition of responsible,
Yeah,
not at fault,
that's what it was. Okay.
not blaming.
Hmm. Okay. Anything
Hold on
else?
one second. Yeah, hold on one second. Responsible for what? Okay, so now what was the very last question you said?
What would it take to have it be complete?
Yes,
Hmm. Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Tim, for putting those in the chat.
Yeah,
Oh, there's Mr. Moreno.
the next part
You
was
arrived.
really awesome. It was, I don't know if we want to go on, but the next part was taking responsibility for your accomplishments, what you did do,
Mm.
because like 90% of our life is a miracle, but we're focusing on the 10% that we didn't complete. So
Mm.
he had us take a look at what we did accomplish and really write it all down.
Mm.
What else? Yeah, and having accomplished all this, what are we creating a foundation for 2022? And then we wrote down possibilities for 2022. All that in about an hour and a half.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was really good.
okay. Well, let's go. What's incomplete for you?
Me?
Mhm.
Oh, well, all right, I have a list.
Great.
Well, what was incomplete was, it's actually something I've already done something about, but that what was incomplete for me was I didn't achieve financial security the way I wanted to. I didn't get the training I wanted in the course supervisor program. And I have not been dating anyone. So those were three areas. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go into details about any of that. I'll just share that.
Okay, I got
yeah.
it.
There was some disappointment with all of it. You know, I felt that I feel the loneliness and anxiety still, but it was really just seeing it. Wow, that's how it was.
Mm. I got that. Yeah. Okay.
So now
So-
I've started to take action toward all those things in the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Were there things that you were upset about in 2021?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things I said, I didn't achieve financial security, I haven't been dating anyone, and I'm not trained to the ability that I wanted to be. I didn't step in as a leader.
Yeah. Like your courses didn't really go the way you wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a certain level of disappointment there and upset. Yeah.
definitely. Yes,
Yes. Man, I could acknowledge you because you didn't let that stay that way.
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Well, I've stepped into it now, you know, with really taking responsibility for all of it.
Mm. That's awesome. And so where did you fail? Where did you see yourself as a failure? Just in all three of those areas, or?
Yeah, just those three things: not achieving financial abundance, not having the leadership I wanted to develop myself, to the level I wanted to develop myself. I think I did, but just not to that figures, the higher level, and not being in a partnership.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you discover where you might have withheld your love and appreciation?
Well, yeah.
Hello? That was like resounding.
Oh, no.
Is there
Echo.
a special effect? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I took my heart
Mhm.
away in some places, I didn't I took my heart away from on the last course.
Mhm.
I got stopped by that, and I almost, quit the program, or I did quit for a while and then came back. But, I saw the act came up, like I don't want to get stopped by emotional reactions to what's going on. So that's where I see I hardened my heart right there, didn't feel supported by the team leaders and stuff. So I feel like I just had to work through that and let it go and let it get beyond it by acknowledging that, that is where I start to withhold contributing and being on the court. It's like I just say, oh, forget it, then I'm done. It was really, it was very real.
Oh, yeah.
But then I wouldn't have seen beyond it. I got a lot of support though, because I stated what I needed in that letter, and so I really did get support from the course supervisor body and our forum leader. So that was really awesome, because having that conversation with Lois Pearson and Susan Eckel, I really saw how valued I am. And that I don't see myself the way other people see me, that I take on being wrong. I actually, saw that I was doing that in the course a lot, and it was just really, really painful to have that experience again. And yeah, so still not an easy conversation to have, but I feel like I've learned how to step through that and take on my life in a way that creates more power and the ability to put the past behind me and be on another course right away and show up powerfully and take a stand for what I need and what the training I want. And I've been doing that on this next course. I have to say that each one of us probably has no idea how much we are valued in this program, because there's a lot of upper leadership, or, I mean, even you guys, Tim and Sherry, you're always there for us, but there's another huge body of leaders that are really have our backs. And that's what I got to experience through this. And I don't take it for granted now. It's like, wow, this makes a big difference in my life.
Right. Great. And are you willing to have a say now about who you're going to be and all that?
Yeah, I'm standing for leadership. I'm standing for taking on leadership, not as I say it should be, but as it actually is. Like being powerful, taking a stand. And really what I learned the most on that last course was not just for me, but for the participants, to be the clearing for them and have, really being the stand for them to get transformed.
Yeah, and you were that. Yeah. Yeah, in the face of your no agreement. So that's really remarkable leadership when you take a look at it that way, right?
Yeah, I think that was why I couldn't just quit, because it was like, well, all these people, how can I contribute to the whole movement of transformation, which is what I'm fully committed to for the 30 years. Like, how can I how can I just walk away from this knowing that that's my commitment to the world, you know? So I had to see it that this program, along with the work I do, equally supports that agreement that I have made.
So it sounds like you got present to that possibility bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm fully taking responsibility for that. And just this past week, I went on a dating site and I started the podcast. So I've been taking action.
You've never stood idle. That's so great.
Yeah.
Really good. Really good. Thank you. All right. Okay, anybody else have anything that, are you complete, Monica, with that, first of all?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I want to be acknowledged though for staying in the game.
Yeah, I totally acknowledge you for that. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
what
I got that you didn't have a good experience, or what one would describe as a good experience in your last course, and that it was a struggle for you. And I got that, you didn't give up. You stuck with it. You did what you knew to do. You aired your views. You were willing to take coaching. You were willing to listen. You were willing to take another look at things. And, people stepped up for you in a way that you hadn't experienced previously. And then you were able to see the possibility that you are in the world. And you got represence to that. And you reconnected to your power, which I really acknowledge you for. It takes something to go through that kind of a ringer.
Yeah.
And to be willing to stay in the conversation and to be represence to who you are in the world and what you're standing for in the world.
Thank you.
So,
Heard that. Thank you, Sherry.
yeah. Yeah. Anybody else want to say any acknowledgement?
Monica, hi, everybody.
Hey, Pedro.
Hey, Pedro.
Tim, this is why I use a virtual background, because my room's a mess. Anyways, I'll get it fixed.
It's just a background. I don't know what
It's
you're
just a
talking
background, yeah. No, I'm Monica. I mean, first I want to say, like, for me, look, as a level 3, fully recreated in what you were dealing with, because I was dealing with the same thing. I discovered things that were not present for me. And, it's, I mean, I just acknowledge you because, I mean, there's something there with you that or it's present for you, that there's something else available out of your participation, that if you knew it, that it was already there, or if you knew that something was going to happen, I mean, you would just take it on fully. But what I've discovered is that in this program, there's so many things that are going to get peeled and layered and, distinguished and discovered, that as you go through it, you're gonna be more powerful, more effective, more of those things that you want. And, it's part of the process. There's a portion of discovery here that sometimes I don't want to deal with it, but now I see, like, wow, that was there in my way, and great that I discovered it. Now I'm like, there's one of those Grand Canyon moments that you will have that it'll just be going on and on and on. Literally, there's nowhere to get to. It's just discovery, 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 And I acknowledge you for just hanging in there. I got it, I get it. I've been there.
Thanks, Pedro.
So, yes, I do. And, I've had a few conversations with Monica, but I'm going to share this for everyone to get. And I think Monica got this already, but some of you don't know the detail at which Monica went to and the lengths she went to be heard, knowing that she was leaving the program. Like, I am leaving the program, and here's what I want. Here's what I want the program to see. And it was, as someone who's on the training and development team, it was an eye-opener. And it was something that for Monica, it was important that she was leaving the program, but was not like saying F you to the program, but I'm leaving this program. And here's what I think, being someone who has written training manuals and being someone who has now used the course supervisor manuals, this is what I see to be looked at. And all of her feedback actually is making the difference. It's gone all the way up to Susan Eckel and Amy and the whole leadership and development team and the development team. And it's going to make the difference. So that's what's unique here, is that we run rackets, but Monica actually transformed her racket and created the possibility and became a leader in that moment that she wrote that email to me. So this is what there is for all of us to look at, is where are the rackets, where are the things that we're incomplete about, that we're just not really being the person who can actually make the difference to shift that, such that a racket is not running your life. So Monica, you know, really just good on you, really well done. And my heart is warmed by you being here, by you stepping up in the last classroom. I mean, you've stepped up in everything I've seen you in on Zoom in the program since. So I'm thrilled, and thank you for really saying what you said, because it was just what was there to say and you didn't hold it back. That's it.
Thanks, Tim. I got that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
By the way, I dropped in the chat, I made a text document of those questions, so they're all in one, so that you could look at them, use them later. You can look at them periodically, maybe every quarter or whatever you want to do. So that document there, I think you can open it. It's just a basic text document.
Will you send that to Tom, and then he can append that to the recording? So when
He
people
should.
go to listen to it, they could then get the record that as well.
Yeah, it's actually on my Google Drive and it's a link. So
Oh,
that when he
okay.
clicks on it in the chat now, it'll take him to that and he can download it.
Okay,
you
Tom.
Can you
got that.
repost it, Tim, on the chat, please?
Repost it. Does
Yeah.
no one see it?
No, I just, since I joined the session,
Oh,
I
I
you
got
switched
it.
were- you
phones,
were
so I can't
off
see
for a while.
the previous messages, yes.
I understand.
Mhm.
Thanks.
It's coming. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so is that complete for you now, Monica?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't know I was going to do all that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, hey, you know, it is unique that you got outside of your racket and you actually addressed the issues, and you have taken actions that are consistent with developing yourself and being a contribution to the program. You know, a lot of people just stay inside that racket and just keep complaining. So awesome. Well done.
It's not a fun place to be.
No, believe me, I think we all know that. I think we all have been in a place where we've been running rackets on the program, for sure. I know I have. So anybody else want to share anything about what's incomplete for you this year, in 2021, some of the challenges you might have had, some of the things that you feel like you didn't perform the way you'd expected, that you might have failed at in your mind?
I do. I'd like to share.
Okay, Joshua.
This is Joshua Moreno. Hello, everybody. You want me to go through the format or just?
Sure, you can. That'd be awesome. If you're comfortable with that.
So, yeah, what I'm incomplete about, or, okay, hold on, let me pull it. What I'm incomplete about is dating. Don't see it in the chat. Dating. I've seen myself in a state of like cynicism. You know, like I'm like, I don't even care for dating anymore.
We can't, I can't hear you. Can anyone
can't
hear
hear me?
Joshua?
A little low.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
volume on
it's
your
kind
mic.
of garbled.
Hold on.
If you spoke into the phone, I don't know. Took your headset off.
How about now? Can you
It's
hear me now?
low.
I can hear you. Yeah.
What I said was that I have been incomplete, cynical about dating. Like I pretend like it doesn't matter to me. Like I'm okay with just going through life as it is and as I am, and that I haven't found the right person and whatnot. Well, that's a lie. You know, like I see myself. It happened to me today where I find someone of interest, and I'm just like, you know what? Like I don't want to go through this again. This whole getting to know each other and the tediousness of playing the game interest, the cat and mouse. Like I'm just so tired of it, you know, like so the story that I tell myself is that whatever, I'm just gonna continue doing my life and going as it is. You know, like I don't care about dating. I don't care about being in an intimate relationship with a woman, which is a complete lie. So another thing that I'm incomplete about is also my health and well-being. You know, like I see myself really challenged to get to a health and condition that I see favorable for me, to a level that I can perform at what I expect. And I don't do the actions. I'm not exercising the way I know I should be doing, or following a nutrition plan the way that I know I should be doing. Get adequate amount of sleep, and you know, like I noticed that my health and well-being is not where I would like it to be. And the other thing that I'm incomplete about is with my family, specifically with my mother. I feel like there's still that restriction in self-expression that I feel like I still have to be cautious of what I say or what I do, plain and simple, of who I am, right? Like I have to diminish who I am for me not to feel like I'm going to be criticized or condemned or demonized. And it tampers my self-expression. It tampers like who I am. And to a point where I feel like I don't want to continue growing or expanding as a human being. So I diminish myself so that I am not criticized for achieving new levels of life, for outgrowing my family. That's what I feel like. Like I don't want to outgrow my family, number one, because I feel like I'm abandoning them. And number two, because I feel like I'm going to be criticized. Like, oh, what are you doing? That's out of the norm. You know, like that's not how you are. That's not who you are. So I feel like I'm trapped in this condition or image of who the old Josh is. And I feel like I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm incomplete about. What I'm complete about, or what I accomplished last year, I really took on transforming my health. So even though it's not to where I want it to be, it has improved significantly all around my health and well-being. I have been taking better care of myself, eating better, getting more sleep, drinking more water, spending more time in nature, taking time off. So I am satisfied in regards to that. I also started psychotherapy, started taking, making sure my mental well-being was solid where it is. My business also grew. I had a goal of taking the previous year's six-figure income and earning that in 1 quarter, and I achieved that goal, which was pretty cool for me. And thank you. So I took six-figure income that I earned in 1 year, and I did that in 1 quarter. And what that opened up for me was, okay, like I can either multiply my income times 4 at minimum. I can take more time off. I can really take care of myself to make sure that I'm good But really what it taught me was that I have now learned to produce at that level with so much more ease. So who being is also a lot more powerful. So that was pretty cool to me. I also took on mentoring and giving back to my community. I joined Big Brother, Big Sister, which is a mentorship program. So now I'm mentoring a 9-year-old boy named John. I have a little, his name is John. Super cool. I have a lot of fun with him. So I'm kind of like going through a phase as a big brother once again, but really more it's like a father now. And I feel like I'm in training wheels to be a dad is what it feels like. But it's pretty cool because I'm kind of reliving my childhood as well. At the same time, I see that I'm a lot more vulnerable, I'm a lot more open, with just complete strangers, complete strangers. So it shows me that I am complete with my past. And not only that, but I use it as a way of empowering others. Okay, this is what I've gone through. This is how I've overcome the past, and you can too. So sharing that message with other people has also been pretty fun. I traveled a lot more. I took a lot more vacations last year. I took like 7-8 vacations last year. I started doing business internationally. And I reduced like 70% of my debt, which is pretty cool. So multiple 5 figures of debt, just like reduced it significantly. And I restructured the loans that I've had on other debt, so that way the interest rates are much lower. So it's positioned a lot stronger financially. And that's it. That's where I'm at. That's kind of where the space that I'm at. It feels like it's a lot of foundational work. And sometimes I feel like I'm not growing enough or growing as much as I would like to. So it frustrates me at times. But, I got to take a step back and assess and be grateful for what it is that I have done, for what I have accomplished. I know I was making myself wrong, and I'm going to complete this about still being a level 1 course supervisor.
Here you go. When's that going to happen? You and Pedro. Yeah.
February 22nd, I'm declaring being a level 2. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yay. All right.
Level 2.
2, 2 in the year of 2022. Got
Get
it.
your calendars out. 2,
Okay.
2, 2.
When's your
2.
next course, Joshua Moreno?
February 4th, I am the lead course supervisor for the advanced course.
Okay, there you go.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't think I followed the format at all, but just really.
You did great. So I just like to acknowledge your tremendous accomplishment this year, both personally and professionally. You've taken on, producing extraordinary amount of work and revenue into your company. You've taken on social issues and fulfilled on some social agendas that you had in terms of being a contribution to the Big Brothers, Big Brother, Big Sister organization. You've clearly supported the people who work for you and with you tremendously, and for whom you work. You have looked after your well-being. You've started on an exercise routine. You've started psychotherapy. Your level of commitment to your growth and development is extraordinary. And I get that you still have those concerns that are past-based conversations regarding, am I good enough, and dating and your family, your relationship with your mom in particular. I get that those are still alive for you. So that's a good place to look, like that. You can declare that those will get complete this year. And, it begs the question, how do you get things complete? What would it take to have it be complete? Such that it shifts away. Yeah. So I think that's a great beginning to the year. I mean, a good place to start, not to say that it's over, but a place to look and to declare a commitment to getting complete in those areas of your life, such that you're freed up to, who knows what you'll accomplish. You'd probably be the mayor of Miami next year. I mean, it could happen, Joshua.
Make it easy,
Maria.
good person.
Yeah, and you might become a level 3 next year. Yeah, inside of all of that, I would say. So, I don't know, Tim, anything you'd like to add to that?
Nothing really to add. I'm just looking, I know, Joshua, you said you didn't really follow the format, right? So there isn't like a have to do anything. And I want to also remind us, and when Fitzgerald was speaking about like he had to, felt mad because he had to or needed to, we really want to look at getting that language out of existence. There's no need to do anything. There's no that you have to do anything a particular way. There is what works for you, right? Like that's what you want to really look at. So if I just look at the language of the texts that I put in the chat, like what there is for you or for anyone that we don't get to, because I know it's like we got 8 minutes left.
I know, not much time.
Yeah. You really do want to look at what it is you can be. I'm going to share my screen. Oh, Sherry, can you enable participants to
co-host.
share? Or what? Yeah, that'll work. Just so that I can share.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Yeah. So desktop 3. So you want to look at, are you able to just be responsible for what is so? If you can't be responsible for what is so, you have very little chance of actually dealing with what is so, and then being able to create the nothingness. Remember what, I don't know if you've listened to the classroom or were in the classroom, the last classroom that Susan Eckel created. Transformation is the space of nothingness for a possibility to show up. So unless you're able to actually be responsible for what's so, you can't actually do anything with transforming the past, disappearing it, and be able to create into nothingness. So I would just, for all of us, really look at from this point on, and then look at what you can actually create in that space for next year and be responsible for it. And then write it down. Like I made a screenshot. I scanned all of my notes of what my answers were. And I'm going to use that and look, am I doing this? Am I doing this? I just looked at them today and I'm like, yep, my level 4 application is going out tonight. Tonight.
All
My level
right.
4 application is going out. So you just, that's all I wanted to say here, because we may not get to everybody, but good work, Joshua. I put you down for February 2222 on my calendar.
Can I just add
Me
something
too.
to that?
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Josh, you occur to me as a level 2, and you're leading an advanced course. The only reason you're not a level 2 is because you haven't gotten the competencies out and just do them. Like you could be a level 2, enroll your team in the advanced course, your course coach especially. I want to be a level 2 by the end of this course, and do it. Because you really do occur to me as a level 2. And I would just like to say, like, I don't have anything incomplete from 2021. I had a great year. I had a lot of things that I had to deal with that were challenges with my family, with my dad's health. My sister was in the hospital right before Christmas. There were some other things, but Tim, what you just said about what's so, and actually every time I think of the phrase what's so, Tim, you like pop into my head. Early on in like in the beginning of being a course supervisor, it just seems you said that all the time, and it's really taken hold of my life. And I think that the reason I don't have anything complete in 2021 is because I'm so grounded in what's so, that there's just what's so,
Yeah.
and then what there is to deal with. And I don't have any regrets about what happened or didn't happen. I mean, I'm really just in such a great space with the relationships with my family. You know, I have a family with my ex-wife and my in-laws. I mean, we went 3 or 4 years without talking, and now we have a family. And what's so is my mother-in-law died a few months ago. And I'm blessed that I got to share the last 2 years with her and not be mad and not talking. My courses have been great. They've been amazing. I was on the last advanced course I did in the beginning of December. There were people that there was 5 people in the advanced course that were in the last landmark forum that I supervised. It wasn't their designated advanced course, so it was kind of just a coincidence. And all of them, I was the breakout manager on the advanced course, but all of them came on like when I was, you know, I guess at the break, and they would say, "Hey, Tom, can I talk to you? I just want to say thank you. I acknowledge you for what you did for me and who you were for me on my landmark forum a couple of months ago." And it just really was amazing to have participants acknowledge me. And it's hard to get that acknowledgement in the space of an online course because we're not face-to-face. We're not in a center. We're not in a hotel in Lake Buena Vista for us Orlando people. Like we are, it's harder to get that connection on a course that lasts. And when people came back to me and acknowledged me like 3 months later, because they remembered me from being a course supervisor for them on the previous course, that was really great. And I just, you know, also want to say I really miss our body. I miss our meetings. I miss our fellowship. You know, Monica and Sherry, I like know personally, but the rest of you guys I know online. I've never, well, Joshua, that's not true. I know Joshua, but Tim and Pedro and Fritz, you know, like I consider you guys dear friends, and I have never given you a hug. Like, it's so cool. And I miss us meeting. I miss hearing you speak. I miss hearing your viewpoints, your contributions. And, you know, there's the other people like, you know, Noah and Pam and, you know, so many other people too. But I would just like to say that I would like, even if we're not supposed to meet, even if it was once every couple of months, for us to have a call like this would be great, because it's a missing.
Thank you, Tom. I got that. I acknowledge you for living your life, the created life, and just in the what's so, and you know, living a life you love. So awesome.
Thank you.
It's not the first time I've heard it from you.
I have an
And,
awesome life. I'm so happy. And
Yeah.
this course, not this course, being a course supervisor, and you guys have made the difference in my life. All of you. All of you.
Thank you. I get that. And likewise. So our time is up. And I'm a echo of what you said. I would like to create some structure where we continue to have these calls, and I'll get back to you guys soon and do that. And I'd like to ask Monica and Tom, I think Tom, Pedro and Fitzgerald to reply back to me and say that you've reviewed your courses and they are your word, and that you will be on your courses. I asked you
did.
guys to get back to me Sunday night. You did that, Tom? Okay.
You actually said by end of day today.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
All
And I
right.
just did at the beginning of the call.
Oh, okay. All right. I haven't seen that. Okay. So Pedro, Fritz, and Monica, if you would do that, that would be awesome. Joshua and Tim, I've heard from you guys. So I love you guys. I thank you. I thank you for willing to put your ass on the line, Monica and Joshua Moreno and Tom Nestor and Pedro and Fitzgerald and Tim, and for the contribution that each of you is in my life and in our program and in the lives of countless hundreds of thousands of people in the world, right? Like they get it. They get who you are. They come back and say thank you. It's pretty awesome. So anybody have anything you need to say to be complete? I know we didn't get to everybody. If people would want to stay on the call and continue the conversation, I'm happy to do that.
I'm complete. I need to leave.
Okay,
Bye,
Me
everybody.
too,
Love
Sherry.
you.
bye. Well, and we don't have to stay on the call. I think I'm complete with the call. Fitzgerald, are you complete?
I'll say something really quick.
Okay.
I think there's a bunch of things that I'm incomplete with. I think
Mhm.
between Monica and Joshua, I got pretty much recreated. Finances, intimate relationship. With me, the what I accomplished is actually I came to live with my parents, and now I'm seeing the fruits of it. Although it's a difficult situation for me, and I had to give up some things and give up a part of my life, but at the same time, now that my dad is having difficulties, it's perfect that I'm here. Okay. And so, yeah, pretty much like Joshua said, it's what's so. I'm not in a committed relationship right now, and I'm committed to be in one. So I get to, and actually, I am talking with somebody, and it's not where I wanted to be, partly due with my family situation, and that's what it is.
I got it.
So, yeah, that's all.
Cool.
Do you want to continue recording the call, or?
Well, I think we can continue until we're complete. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think everybody's done. I'm complete. It was a crazy year. A lot of things didn't happen that I wanted to happen, and a lot of things happened that I didn't expect to happen. And I'm really complete with all of it. And
Awesome.
I started off 2022 with COVID. I'm in my 7th day of having COVID. So that
Me
was an
too.
awesome experience.
Me too.
And Tom did too. Did you test positive, Tom?
I actually tested negative, but I just think I had COVID because of the recurring, like I would feel good and then not, and it just wouldn't let me go.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the flu.
Yeah.
Minimally the flu, but I don't know. A lot of people said they thought I had COVID, but by the time I couldn't get tested because there was like
Couldn't get
5-day
a kit.
waits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I didn't have the energy to go wait in line for 4 or 5 hours.
I
So,
totally get that. Yeah.
and what was I felt like shit for 10 days, and now I feel better. And
Yeah.
whether it was COVID or the flu, it doesn't matter, right?
That's true.
It just was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. It was what it was, and it wasn't what it wasn't. So I'm glad you're on the mend.
I kind of wish I did have COVID so that I could be like,
Super immune. You
Immune.
probably did, Tom. It sounded to me like you had all the symptoms of COVID. You had fevers and chills and all of that, right? Yeah.
yeah, I didn't lose my taste or smell. But
Okay, guys. So we're still recording. So
Okay, I'll
if it
turn the
feels
recording